Hello, it's Denise. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day so far and not too stressful. So, I don't know if you caught my blog post this week. If not, it is in the link in my bio. It's the second link down. Or you can just go to my website at www.denisesteyer.com and then go under menu and click under blogs. It's the latest one up there. And what I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to expand on it today, is loneliness. And, I'm like, okay, why do we want to talk about loneliness? That could be a bummer of a topic, but that's exactly why. Sometimes right now, people are experiencing loneliness more so than normal. A lot of our activities that we used to do, we're not doing. And some of us are home alone, and it can get to be a bit much after a while. Some are with a whole house full of people, but when everything quiets down, they still feel lonely. And I wanted to talk about that because that can impact our thinking. It can impact our motivation. It can impact our energy. When we're feeling lonely, sometimes we don't want to do anything. We just kind of want to sit there. And when we sit there, our thoughts can start to spin, and they're usually not positive. They are usually the negative ones. And then they can spiral, and then we don't have motivation because why bother? So if we can catch it ahead of time and try to do some different steps to counter it, then we'll be better off in the long run, which is why I thought it was really important to talk about. Now, there's nothing wrong with being alone. Don't get me wrong. Being alone is great sometimes. I mean, some people love it. Some people hate it. I love my alone time. I love my social time. I think I'm more of an ambivert where I really need that downtime to recharge. I love my books. I always have. I love music. So, I'm okay being alone, and I know some people aren't. And those people that aren't used to being alone might even be feeling more lonely too right now because they are more energy driven and social. So in my blog, I talked about 6 steps that we can take to help counter loneliness. And one of them is to make sure that we're connecting daily with people, whether it is texting, phone calls. I think many of us have gotten away from actually using our phones as a phone. And during this quarantine, staying at home time, more people, I think, are using their phones. And then we also have FaceTime, we have Skype, we have WhatsApp, whatever we have. There's ways to being able to see someone face to face too, so you can feel like you have that connection. I also talked about getting exercise daily because that can help you feel better. I do have to do a caveat because I don't know if many of you might know this, some don't, that I've spent 20 plus years working in the eating disorder field. So if you are on an exercise restriction plan, then please follow that instead of just saying, well, Denise says I can exercise. The other thing is watching our eating. I prescribe, hence being in the eating disorder field, I don't view food as bad or good. I think all food is okay in moderation. And with that being said, if we're feeling lonely, then we might be turning more towards, how do I word this? Food that might be more heavily dense, such as the sweets and the chips. And those aren't going to have us feel as good as if we were also incorporating having some sweets and chips, but also adding into that some fruits and vegetables and making sure we're getting some protein in there. And then I also talked about evening activities, scheduling things in the evening for you to do. And I listed a few in the article, so check that out. And then I talk about this one a lot, but the 5th tip was doing a daily gratitude journal. Because if we can list 5, 10 things, sometimes maybe if it was a crummy day, you might only list one. But being able to jot it down daily and see things that we're grateful for can really help us not feel so lonely and can help us feel like, things matter, we matter, and that there are good things out there for us. And then the last one was doing coaching. Because one of the things that I do as in a coach is that when we talk in our weekly sessions, there's usually homework to do, right? Because you can't do everything in an hour session. And if we're working on our personal or professional development, there's work to be doing. And so by doing coaching calls, you would have possibly coaching calls at night. I do have some evening slots, but you'd also be doing homework at night. So that would give you some extra time too. Some lists that I wanted to add were different activities that we could do beyond what I had mentioned. And I know coloring books are pretty popular, especially for adults right now. So if you enjoy coloring, and even if you don't have any in your home, maybe you have some kids coloring books, but even just get some paper and just start doodling and just drawing and coloring, getting out those paints and just painting and see what it does. You don't have to be artistic to be able to do this, but you can tap into your creativity. And if we're being busy, and we're focusing on tasks, then we're not going to be focusing so much on these negative thoughts and feeling lonely. The other thing was getting a good book, right? There's nothing for me better than getting lost in a super great book. And I'm the type that actually needs some time when I'm done reading the book to come back to reality because I get so lost in the storyline and in the characters. Some people love puzzles. I've seen a lot of people on social media have board games and puzzles out. So there's games that you can play by yourself. Now I am a I admit it. I am addicted to Candy Crush. And so I'm actually working during this time to limit my Candy Crush time so that I don't focus just on that and not on other things that I want to do, like focusing on my business, because that wouldn't help my business if I was just doing that. And then organizing, right? Right now, if you were to see my living room floor, you'd be like, what are you doing? I'm going through file drawers and I'm cleaning things out that I don't need anymore. I'm putting things in piles to reorganize. So doing things little by little can help, because as we're having tasks to do, then we're not focusing on that. Like I said, because we don't want those negative thoughts to start creeping in. We don't want ourselves to feel really crummy. One of the concerns out in the mental health world is that after or during this whole stay-at-home place, we're going to have a surge of mental health issues. And that's one of the important reasons, too, I want to talk about loneliness, because I want to give tips to help deter some of these mental health issues that could be cropping up. Because, loneliness, we can then get into a funk, and that can lead to depression. Like I said, it can take a toll on our motivation. And so do things that are fun. Like before this call, I was having a dance party here because I love music, and by listening to some upbeat music, it takes me from the shift of what I was doing to getting ready to be on live. So those are some things I wanted to share. If you have things that I haven't talked about, please, by all means, comment, let me know, reach out, DM me, email me. I'd love to hear them because I like to add to my lists. And this video will be on YouTube. I will put a link in there in case you missed it and want to catch it on the replay. But I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.